It has been already 25 years or so since Ash and Pikachu has left Pokemon journeys forever and said goodbye to all the Pokemon fans, and Liko and Roy has joined the Pokemon as the new face of the entire Pokemon anime with a new brand series known as Pokemon Horizons. So if you guys are watching Pokemon Horizons, just let me know down in the comment section how it's going on and what are your thoughts on the new brand series, because I'm not seeing currently the ongoing series, so I don't know anything about it. So in today's video, what we are gonna do, we are gonna see which version of Ash was the best Ash of all time. Which means from this comparison, we will also be able to understand that which Ash was the strongest. Was it Sinnoh Ash or Kalos or Galar or Alola? Which Ash was the strongest? And obviously there will be multiple levels to judge the best version of Ash, not only because of its popularity or anything. So without wasting any time, let's get the video started. In starting, we saw Ash as a kid, which was very inexperienced and reckless at first, when Pikachu was not interested in him as a trainer. But he gradually learned from his mistakes and improved his skills. He also made his friends Misty and Brock, who joined them on his adventure. And as a gym leader, especially Brock, how much he was admired with Ash that he decided to go on a journey with Ash along with Misty. In his journey, Ash has caught many Pokemons in Kanto such as Bulbasaur, Charmander, Squirtle, and Pidgeotto and Butterfree. He also faced many challenges such as the biggest one and the never-ending Team Rocket, the gym leaders, and his best rival Kyogre. Ash managed to win the Orange Island and the Battle Frontier, and the time came when Ash was finally going to fight for the Kanto League and finally manages to get into top 16, not only by his luck, obviously that was his luck as well in the starting with Kingler, but after that we saw how he used his brain, his skills he has learned and everything, and went till top 16. But still he has a lot to learn because his Charizard wouldn't listen to him, and because of that one mistake cost him whole league, and he was only able to go till top 16, which was the biggest lesson for us to went to new journey to grow even stronger and win the trust of his Charizard. Considering the fact that I am keeping Kanto with Orange Island, so obviously we have seen in Orange Island how much Ash has grown when he was teaching their Pokemon some moves, and in that region even Charizard was starting to obey Ash after seeing how much he has scared him. And Squirtle learning Hydro Pump, and all the 4 regional champions or gym leaders, whatever, they have helped a lot in developing Ash character. And in the finale of Orange Island, the monster Pokemon of all time, the Dragonite, he finally defeated that Pokemon and became the champion of Orange Island. And that was the proof how much he has grown as a trainer. But he need to learn more, so he went to another journey, and we all know where he went. Number 7, we have Johto. Now this can be controversial, but Johto comes right after Kanto, and definitely I will explain to you why. Johto as was a lot matured and definitely a lot stronger than before. And in Johto he has caught a lot of Pokemons including Chikorita, Cyndaquil, Totodile, Noctowl, Phanpy, and Larvitar. This was the first time when we saw Ash using Pokemons which were feeling like they are replacing our OG teams, like Chikorita is replacing Bulbasaur, Cyndaquil is taking the huge burden because she is replacing our Charizard, the powerhouse. Totodile is replacing Squirtle, Noctowl, Phanpy, and Larvitar, and obviously our OG Pikachu. And in Johto, Ash faced a lot of challenges like Team Rocket, obviously, the Kimono Girls, Casey, Richie, Harrison, and Gary. He also encountered many legendary Pokemons including Ho, Lugia, Entei, Suicune, and Celebi. Ash also participated in a World Cup, a tournament for water type Pokemons, where he reached till semi-finals. He also joined the Silver Conference, the Johto League tournament, where he finished in the top 8. Finally, he beated Gary Oak. And I don't think I have to tell you that this rematch was one of the best rematch of all time, or you can say whole Pokemon anime, because my goodness how good this battle was, I can't describe in words. And after that we saw a new Pokemon in Johto, which was a Pokemon of Hoenn, that was Blaziken, who was slightly better than our Charizard. And due to that, Ash lost that battle and went till top 8. Number 6 we have Unova region. Now yes, don't get angry. I have my reasons for keeping Unova on top 6. Trust me, I'm not comparing overall. I would have thrown this stress away from here. Now see, I understand it was like kind of a reboot they are trying to make because of a lot of journeys and all the things. But definitely they were failed. We all know that. It was more than a reboot. It was like Ash himself was rebooted because he was making some stupid mistakes, like throwing Pokeballs on someone who was like Ares, and a lot of stupid mistake. And the worst part, which everyone blames, he lost to a trainer who has only 5 Pokemon in a 6-on-6 battle. Well, but still we can't deny the fact that that battle was very good. Even though Lucario was overpowered, but every time every Lucario is overpowered. So the reason why I've kept him on top 6 is because of his experience and his Pokemons. Definitely if we keep that aside, that is totally trash. But we can't forget, even though Pokemon says, and we saw that he rebooted, but in the moment when he didn't rebooted, after that league, we saw what was as when Charizard returned. He still has that experience from Sinnoh region, from Hoenn region, and including Unova and Johto. So definitely it will come at top 6. But in my personal opinion, if you will ask me, as a fan favorite or personal favorite, it will definitely come at last. But this is not a fan favorite, so I had to keep on top 6. Let's not waste more time on this. Let's move on to next one. On top 5 position, we have Hoenn region. Now, as a region itself, it was very interesting. And after Misty, we have the second Pokegirl, which was May. She was an interesting character and definitely a very good battler as a challenger for Ash. And we saw his battle and we know how good the battle was with Blaziken and Sceptile. So after completing top 8 in Johto, Ash moved to Hoenn. Okay, so in Hoenn definitely Misty wasn't there. We all missed her. But thanks to Pokemon team, we have Brock. Our OG Brock, who was a cook, who was a nurse and caretaker. So he was very important character for Ash in his travel. And we have our 2 new characters, which were May, which I have already introduced to you, and we have Max as her brother, and they both were the children of Petalburg gym leader Norman. So as Ash do in every region, he decided to leave most of his Pokemon to Professor Oak's lab and start fresh with only Pikachu. He caught a lot of Pokemons in Hoenn, such as Trico, Corphish, Torkoal, and Snorunt. He also learned new strategies and techniques such as Counter Shield and Aerial Ace. And the way he learned, and we can't forget Pikachu Iron Tail, which was the OP and the MVP of all time. And that what makes the Hoenn special. Ash taught every Pokemon of his a new moves such like Trico's Bullet Seed, Swallow's Aerial Ace, the Counter Shield for Pikachu, and a lot of things including Iron Tail. Ash faced many challenges and rivals in Hoenn, such as Team Magma, Team Aqua, the Frontier Brain, and his rival Tyson. He also encountered many legendary Pokemon like Groudon, Kyogre, Rayquaza, Jirachi, and Deoxys. The worst part of the Hoenn region was Ash's ignorance and his ego. The fact that I don't know why, but in this region he was a lot ignorant and annoying at the same time. I still remember the episode of Battle Frontier before the Battle Frontier with Norman, and I understand that Norman is the one who is mostly responsible, but still I don't know why the whole Hoenn region he was a lot annoying Ash. So as I told, Ash participated in the Hoenn League where he reached till quarterfinals. He had a rematch with his old rival Gary, but also traveled to Hoenn and defeated him. He also battled with his new rival Tyson, who had a Meowth that wore boots and gloves, and lost to him in a close match and still got till top 8. The best battle I guess was with Morrison, one of the best rival or you can say friend of Ash. Ash learned more about himself as his Pokemon, such as his bond with Pikachu and many other Pokemons. Ash had also developed a special bond with Trico, and after the Hoenn region we saw in the Battle Frontier how good Ash was. Like till episode 7 he was very good until Norman came including his Trico, which evolved into Grovyle and then into Sceptile. One of the most strongest his grass type Pokemon. He also had a very sweet relationship with his friend May. I won't say romantic because we saw that with Drew, I guess. That actually hurts me because May was like my favorite character at that time, but what can we say? So Ash bid farewell to May and Max, who decided to travel to Johto to participate in the Grand Festival. He also released his Fanpy, who evolved into Donphan and Glalie, which chooses to stay with Professor Oak. He decided to leave most of his Pokemon like as usual at Professor Oak's lab and started a new journey Sinnoh with only Pikachu, but surprisingly Aipom joins him in his next region, which is going to be Sinnoh. On number 4 we have Galar, according to some people, because that is the reason where Ash became the world champion. But I have my own reason for keeping Galar on number 4. I can't keep above that or to Galar. So at starting, Galar was definitely one of the best and the most promising journey we could have got, because this journey tries to do a lot of things new and exciting, like the animations has improved a lot. It was the first time when Ash wasn't going to either school or random journeys. He had a male friend only, which was Go, to join him in his journey. And in this reason, he wasn't traveled to a special reason, but traveling to all the reasons, including obviously all the previous reasons. So that was the speciality of Galar, but that too only in starting. So Ash traveled with his new friend and research fellow Go, who shared his goal of catching every Pokemon in the world with Ash. So Ash decided to leave most of his Pokemon obviously at Professor Oak's lab and start fresh with only Pikachu. He caught 6 Pokemons as usual in Galar as well, but they were Dragonite, Gengar, Riolu, Farfetch, Dracovish and Surfetch. We also learned a lot of new strategies and techniques such like Dynamax and Gigantamax phenomena. Ash faced a lot of rivals and challenges in Galar such as Team Rocket, the gym leaders, Macrocosmos, a new group, and his rival Leon, the world champion. He also encountered legendary Pokemon such as Jason, Zamazenta, Eternatus, Mewtwo, Suicune and Jason again. And the whole point of the Galar was to participate as in the World Coordination Series, a global tournament that ranked trainers based on the battles. He started from normal class and climbed up to the master class, where he faced the strongest trainers in the world. He had a rematch with his old rival Corina, who had a Mega Lucario and defeated her badly. He also battled his new rival Leon, who was reigning champion of Galar and monarch of the World Coordination Series, and defeated him finally in the rematch, and that was a very good thrilling match and the best animation of Pokemon history. Ash learned more about himself and his Pokemon, such as his bond with Pikachu, his friendship with Dragonite, his trust in Gengar and his respect for Riolu. He also developed a special bond with his Riolu, which evolved into Lucario and learned to use Aura Sphere. He also had a very close and supportive relationship with his friend Go, who had a goal of catching Mew. So finally in this region, Ash became the world champion, achieving his lifelong dream of becoming a Pokemon master. He also received a trophy and a cape from Leon, who congratulated him on his victory. Now the problem is with Galar that it tried to do a lot of things that it wasn't able to do anything properly. Even the worst thing is the World Coordination Series itself. Even though the last battle of Ash vs Leon was kind of epic because of the animation part, the whole point except Cynthia vs Aris, Ash vs Aris and we can say Ash vs Leon, other battles were like totally garbage. Garbage, not even more than that. Total garbage. That was the most frustrating thing I've ever watched in my whole life and expected. There are a lot of things about Galar which needed to be talked, so we will talk that in later because the videos is becoming very long. Let's discuss about other regions as well. So number 3 we have Sinnoh. Now after coming into top 8 in Hoenn, Ash went to Sinnoh, leaving his new captures at Professor Oak lab, except obviously Pikachu, but surprisingly Aipom also snuck from Professor Oak's lab and joined Ash in his new journey of Sinnoh. Later on, he again reunited there with Brock and got a new travel companion named Dawn, who later on became the best buddy of Ash, my number 1 Pokegirl, Dawn. who wanted to be a Pokemon coordinator like her mom. In Sinnoh, Ash caught many Pokemons such as Starly, Turtwig, Chimchar, Weasel, Gligar, and Gible. Every Pokemon of Sinnoh is unique in himself. He also evolved some of his old Pokemon such as Apom, Turtwig, Gligar, and Cyndaquil. He also traded his Apom for Dawn's Weasel. As I've already told you, the thing which makes Sinnoh different from other reason is Paul himself. He was just like Ash, but as a coin have two sides, head and tail, as told by Cynthia herself. Ash and Paul are two faces of a single coin. Their thoughts are exactly same, their vision is exactly same, but the method they use, the road they take is different as fire and water. So not only Paul, but he faced many rivals in Sinnoh, such as Barry, Conway, Nando, and Joey. He learned to respect different styles of training and battling, and to overcome his weakness. The most important thing to learn in Sinnoh is not only Ash was teaching their Pokemon different moves, which helped him in overcoming Paul's awesome strategies and tactics, but he was evolving every Pokemon moves and learning from his teammates, and the best example would be Dawn. He also helped to stop Team Galactic from destroying the world with the help of legendary Pokemon Dialga and Palkia. Ash developed a strong bond his Pokemon, especially with Pikachu, a Chimchar whom Paul left and Ash later took on and became the strongest Pokemon of Sinnoh, and without a doubt a close call but one of the strongest fire type Pokemon of all time. He also befriended some legendary Pokemon such as Darkrai, Semin, and Arceus, the god himself. He showed his courage, kindness, and determination in many situations. Ash participated in the Sinnoh League, where he reached in the top 4. He defeated several gym leaders and got into intense battle with his rival. He even made to Sinnoh League, which was super tough, but unfortunately he lost to Tobias and was eliminated. After the league, Ash said goodbye to Dawn and Brock, who went their own ways. Now talking about the Sinnoh League, it was very good, and I don't have any doubt if Tobias wasn't there, Ash might had won the Sinnoh League, because not only Tobias had cheated, but he was using two legendary Pokemon, Darkrai and Latias, and we don't even know that who was his third Pokemon. I won't be surprised if he used Dialga or Palkia, because at this point I was not thinking from my head. I'm damn sure that it was a strategy for writers to make Ash lose, but in a good way. Coming on number 2, we have Carlos. The reason where Ash actually was looking a bit older, means 11 or 12. The animation style was improved a lot. And obviously Carlos is famous into Pokemon fans for Serena. According to them, the best Pokegirl, not my second but third best Pokegirl for me. And fun fact, I don't know about others, but I hope that not a lot of Pokemon fans know this, but Carlos was the first time when 3D cameras were used for making the animations. So if you don't know, let me know in the comment section, and if you already knew, then also let me know in the comment section. So coming back to Carlos, then Ash arrived in Carlos with Alexa, who introduced him to Professor Sycamore. After that, Ash met his new friends Serena, Clement, and Bonnie, and received a new Pokédex as his first Carlos Pokemon, Froakie. He also encountered Team Flare, who were after a mysterious Pokemon called Zygarde. Now in Carlos, Froakie was an interesting Pokemon. Until at this point we knew that trainers choose their Pokemon, but here Froakie chooses his own trainer, and he chose this time Ash to be his trainer. So we knew from starting that Froakie is gonna be something legendary. Ash caught many Pokemons in Carlos such as Fletchling, Hawlucha, Gloomy, and Noibat, including Froakie and Pikachu. He also evolved some of his Pokemon such as Froakie to Frogadier and later on Greninja, Fletchling to Fletchinder, and Goomy to Goodra. Ash faced many challenges and rivals in Carlos such as Tierno, Trevor, Sawyer, and Alan. He learned to master the power of Mega Evolution and Bond Phenomena, a special phenomena which only Ash Greninja knows how to perform, under which somehow Ash and his Greninja synchronize and give a powers very similar to Mega Evolution, but better than that, under which he is able to see what Greninja can't see and feel as well. He also helped to stop Stream Flare using Zygarde, the legendary Pokemon, to destroy the world. Ash developed a strong bond with his Pokemon, especially with his Greninja. He also befriended Zygarde. He showed his courage, kindness and determination, which admired Clement, especially to travel along with Ash in his journey. Ash participated in the Kalos League where he reached to the finals. He defeated several gym leaders and got into intense battle with his rivals. He even faced Alan, who had a Mega Charizard X in the final match. Unfortunately, after a lot of rematches even, he lost to Alan by a narrow margin and was a runner-up in the Kalos. It was the first time when Ash reached at least till semi-finals. So it was a very big thing for Ash. As a kid, I remember that I hated that battle because Ash was so close to winning. But I don't know how, and still I can't explain how he lost. I guess the Charizard is so much powerful, and that is understandable as well after all that experiences. So yeah, still he went till semi-final. That is a good thing. Ash's journey in Kalos was the most exciting and the emotional ones. He grew as a trainer and as a person and made many friends along the way, especially the romantic one. He also had some of his epic battles and adventures in Kalos. If I have to tell anything which we can learn, could be follow your dreams no matter how impossible they seem, and enjoy your journey and have fun. Now coming to the number 1, we will have Alola, the region which surpassed everyone's expectations. Yeah, before talking about the bad points, let's talk about the good stuff. It is the only region where the first time Ash became an official champion of any official region. And not only the champion, but the first champion officially. And also he defeated the strongest trainer of that island, which was his own father figure, Professor Kukui, the most amazing battle of all time. And another thing is that it was the only reason where Ash decided to do something new rather than facing challenges. And even Alola's style of battling was very different, because in starting they weren't sure like they will be able to host something related to championship but at last Professor Kukui decided to hold and Alola's championship, where obviously we know how Ash became the Alola champion. It is the first region where Ash was going to school along with his new friends, which were a lot of them. He had a family, which were Professor Kukui and Professor Brigade as his father figure and mother figure. And I can't tell how cute that feels like. And in journeys we have seen they had a son who is like a brother to Ash. I can't tell you how much I literally had tears always in my eyes when I think about the Alola region. The only reason where Ash wasn't in a hurry to earn all the badges, he was living his life. He was enjoying every moment in Alola, and that's what makes Alola special. Ash arrived in Alola with his mother and Mr. Mime, who went on a vacation trip actually to that region. He met Professor Kukui there, whom we have already talked about, who became his father figure, his guardian and his mentor, and enrolled into a Pokemon school where he made a lot of friends including Lana, Lily, Mallow, Sophocles and Kiawe. Ash caught many new Pokemons in Alola such as Rowlet, Rockruff, Lycanroc, Poipole, Naganadel, Melmetal and Incineroar. He also involved some of his Pokemon such as Rockruff, Poipole and Torracat. He also befriended some legendary and mythical Pokemon such as Tapu Koko, Solgaleo, Lunala, Necrozma, Zeraora and Milton. Ash faced many challenges and rivals in Alola such as Hao, Gladion, Kuzma and Kukui himself. He learned to master the power of G-moves and Ultra Warp Ride, which allowed him to travel to different dimensions and encounter Ultra Beast. He also helped to stop Team Skull and Ether Foundation from causing trouble in the region. Now coming to its kind of negative points, I don't know why, but some people will say the art style. And yeah, there is a difference between animation and art style. The animation was definitely better than Kalos, but the art style, what like cartoonish, I agree, but it was made for keeping things refreshing, and I totally agree with that. And I am not against you if you don't like the any art style. It's totally your choice. But trust me, if you have seen Alola and understood what it wanted to say, you will understand the reason behind keeping his art style. We had a lot of fun moments, definitely cringe moment in starting, but they had improved it in the Ultra Sun and Moon. So personally, as a PokeTuber and a Pokemon fan, first of all, I love Alola region. And the reason why I've kept it at number 1 is the reasons I have already told you, and adding some reasons which are his own Pokemon. They are stronger in their own way. Think about the Pokemons having a mythical Pokemon, legendary Pokemon, all the Pokemon counting Solgaleo also in his team of Alola, because Pokemon Company has confirmed Solgaleo as his Pokemon, as we have seen in last episode of Pokemon Journeys, when Pikachu also saw Solgaleo, so that confirms officially that Solgaleo in his team. And even if Solgaleo is not in his team, Alola will be my number one and my favorite reason all the time, because no one reason can match Alola and it has given to me. So yeah, that's it for today's video. Let me know down in the comment section if you have any thoughts, or if you want to add something, or you have any other topics in mind which you want me to make. And obviously I can only apologize for not being active. I know my subscriber will understand, but I am really sorry. I will try to not keep you wait at least this much longer. I'm sorry about that. If the video had some faults, I'm again sorry for that. And definitely this video wasn't mean to harm anyone's intentions or sentiments, so please don't be offended. Let me know down your list in the comment section. See ya, have a good day and take care.